Hi, everyone. My name is Oroma Mpi-Reynolds, and I am the founder of a special education law firm called MSR Legal and Consulting Services. I'm a special education attorney. I've been practicing special education law since 2008, and I have my own practice now. My website is www.msrlegal.org. My Instagram is MSR Legal Consulting. So today I wanted to highlight some recent news coming out of the Centers for Disease Control, that's the CDC, about autism, about autism spectrum disorder. So, years ago, I'd come across research that indicated 1 out of every 51 children would have a diagnosis of autism. And now, according to this new information, the prevalency is even higher, that out of 44 8-year-olds, there's going to be one child with autism. So 1 out of 44 8-year-olds is diagnosed with um, ASD, autism spectrum disorder. So what I wanted to do today is just give those parents some tips. So if your child is that 1 out of 44, here are some really basic tips that you can use to hopefully alleviate some of the confusion and anxiety about what you can do or should be doing next. So, my first tip is to definitely start early. We know that the earlier the intervention starts, and perhaps the more intensive the intervention is, the better the outcome for that child. So, the time to start obtaining the intervention for your child is now and not later. My next tip is to engage the medical community and find trusted doctors who can help guide you through this journey because it is going to be a journey. So, inform your regular primary care physician or pediatrician. You may want to have your child followed by a neurologist and also strongly consider finding a developmental or neurodevelopmental or developmental behavioral pediatrician as well. And you'll probably find that each doctor can give his or her own unique perspective to what your child's needs are. Next, you want to make a referral to the your county Department of Health for early intervention if your child is between the ages of birth and up to 3 years old. You want to make a referral to your local school district for the Committee on Preschool Special Education if your child is turning 3 up until the point they're 5 years old. And then for school age special education, you want to make a referral to the Committee on Special Education, the CSE, for children that are turning 5 through the age of 21. And these systems, under the Individuals with Disabilities Education Act, will ensure that your child is offered an appropriate set of services. So, for the early intervention, the focus is more on developmental milestones, and then as you transition into preschool special education and school age special education, the focus will take a more academic focus, but not necessarily. So it's really important to make sure that your child is tied into the special education system, early intervention system, as soon as possible. My next tip is for parents to consider whether your child, in addition to being connected to the special education and early intervention system, whether your child needs home-based or community-based services. What kind of insurance coverage does your child have? Are there services such as behavioral therapy, ABA, speech therapy, occupational therapy, physical therapy that your child can receive through your own medical insurance? Do you need additional coverage? Does your child need Medicaid? Do you qualify for Medicaid services such as home health aid or school-based OT, occupational therapy and speech therapy, physical therapy, nursing services? So there is a whole realm of services that may be available to your child based on the type of medical insurance your child has, whether your child is eligible for Medicaid, and also if your child has eligibility through Medicaid funded services, such as in New York State, it's OPWDD, the Office of People with Developmental Disabilities. So my advice is the approach should be broad, to gather together all of the medical information that you can have to make the best decisions for your child. And then once your child is connected to these various systems, the next question will be, is what is being offered to my child, me and my child, appropriate? Has my child been denied eligibility for any of these services? Were they wrongfully denied? Do I disagree with what's being offered? Do I believe my child needs something else? Does my child need additional evaluation? So, and that is really where special education or special needs advocacy and legal representation comes in terms of helping families navigate all of those questions. So, those were a handful of tips. If you're one of the your child is 1 out of 44. If your child has a diagnosis of ASD, autism spectrum disorder, those are a few tips that I hope will help. And you can visit my website for my blog on special needs parenting during the pandemic, www.msrlegal.org. Thanks.